Welcome back to Freezing the Game. I wanted to do a little bit more reading while I was in the mood. Let's do a couple shout outs. I got put on the Yay Mook from Masterly Foolish. Sister Myra, she gets down on astrology. Brother Panic, man, can't go wrong with them. They're not for everybody, simple as that, just like I'm not, you dig? Just a little bit of reading from DjConway again. Since I was reading from the Dragons, I just wanted to end it off on my 9th episode. Read a little bit slower so that there's no misconceptions that I'm not a racist or anything like that, because I'm using my discernment here, and I want to replace the word dragon with black man, black woman, because that makes it sound it sound my spirit is telling me that there's a little bit of coding going here, a little bit of etymology, you know, as they call in the court system, legalese. And, rock with me for a second. Just, shout out to the ancestors. We ate a little raw chocolate. I shade a Bobby Hemmett. I shade a C. Freeman L. And we ain't pouring no libations, but we drank some water. And I drank long enough for everybody. So I think that's why I got so much energy. But let's do a little bit of reading on courtship, breeding, and young. So when I say dragon, just think about yourself, the black man, the black woman. If anybody else is interested in this knowledge, I say to you, man, get your knowledge. Don't take everything so personally. But for my black brothers and sisters, take this very personally. So let's do a little reading from here. Female dragons can hold any position that a male does. Now, as we move into this age of Aquarius, men, we have to stop being so, I don't want to say penis, but male-centered, and really look in that anima and know. And I really feel this because I'm a very masculine man. I'm unapologetically black and male. But as a Virgo male, I know that is the divine feminine, is the mystic, which I learned from Sister Myra. You dig? She's not teaching it right now, but Sister Myra will give you some game on your astrology, man. And there's a difference between astrology and astronomy. Get into it. But long story short, men, we were androgynous beings, and the only way to fully activate your power is to look in that, is to fall in love with yourself, that spiritual being inside yourself, that divine feminine. Let me continue reading. Female dragons can hold any position that a male does. There's no definite, consistent way to distinguish a female from a male dragon. Remember, black person. And I don't really like the word person, but we'll work with it. In other words, coloring, size, and manner of speaking do not help you distinguish. They love right now we're coming to the table when a lot of times we get in arguments over tone, and we like to play the word game. But stop trying to distinguish an argument or a debate, which we shouldn't be having with each other, but a point of reference by tone, all right? And the way we speak. Just get the message. Because I'm not going to change my inflections for you at all. Like Pimp God says, I am unapologetically me, man. But once again, that androgynous being, loving that anima, pulling out that anima, letting it guide you. That's why I'm here right now. Some dragons banded together as a clan. Once again, she uses the word clan instead of, they use family. Now this really sticks out to me because I don't want to say that's an African word, but my spirit is telling me she's using that for a reason, because there are so few. However, that doesn't mean they mate beyond their related species. That's definitely African. And I was Bobby pointed out again this election from '93. Dang, I can't remember the book right now, but I'll give you a small reference. That draconian stuff, I don't mean the draconic age, but Dracula, that's another stolen legacy. So you got to do your own of ours that you have to do your research on. That's why there's always a further. As a Mason, I can give you that. Prince All Mason at that. There's always a further. Start at the Sun Mysteries. There's always a further behind the Krishna energy, behind the Christ, behind the sun, behind Ra. There's always a further. Okay? So don't just take the surface. So let's skip down to courtship, breeding, and young. In a variety, shapes, sizes, and temperaments, dragons were known in ancient cultures and folktales around the world. These dragons are always depicted as fully grown. Now that sticks out to me because we are the old gods. Okay? Although dragon nests with eggs are sometimes mentioned, eggs certainly mean baby dragons, yet the tales rarely mention them. Logically, there must be baby dragons, hatchlings, younglings, and fledglings growing up somewhere. Just as there are beginning dragon magicians trying their best to become more proficient. Okay? They can become a type of astral watchdog for you, your family, pets, and property. This reminds me of the ancestors, man. Because like Meek say, there are levels to this. And we all know that. Okay, so we have the astral realm. If you do any study, we know that's still part of the matrix, the 4D. Down there into the 5D. There's a lot of trickery going on up there. That's why whoever you believe in down here, yeah, you can go to heaven or hell depending on what you believe in. You're going to go see them, but you're still in the matrix because you don't believe you're God. So you can go see your ancestors, you can go see Jesus, you go see Allah, Buddha, whoever you want. But there's much higher realms. And until you reach those or aspire to be there, you stuck in the matrix, man. Breeding dragon females consume great amounts of seashells, granite, marble before, during, and after laying eggs. Although dragons may seem to sample human-type food, they only take certain essences of the food. Amazingly enough, dragons appear to love the essence of chocolate. The darker, the better. The sweeter the juice. Here I go. Others have noted the same propensity between fairies, come on, pan energy, and chocolate. Do your research. Relatedly, the psychological effects of oils and incense are very great. If this ain't some nigga shit, I don't know what is. Particularly among the different dragon clans. However, do not use poppy. What does that remind you of? Even though I have a huge appreciation for the Asian culture, and I believe in a past life I might have been a black samurai or something. Bushido. All I do is watch Japanese anime. But dragons are allergic to poppy. That's a drug, baby. We're not into drugs, really. This is a straight up coping mechanism over here. To forget. We don't want to remember, a lot of us. And that's okay. Zombie land. You go ahead and be a zombie. I'm cool. Unlike blizzards, the sex of hatchlings is not dependent on the degree of heat at the hatching place. Dragons are male or female determined by their DNA, just as humans are. Come on, black man. Come on, black woman. However, dragons cannot sexually mix with humans. Now, I'm going to switch humans and humanoids just to the white man, because when we mix with them, that's genetic genocide for them. So I feel like that's why, I'm just using my third eye, guys. Don't judge me. If you want to judge me, just, leave a comment, make your own channel. But I'm just trying to break the code, okay? I'm not here to be a zombie like you. Humans cannot become dragons for any reason, nor would Now, remember what I said replace humans with. Humans cannot become dragons for any reason, nor would the dragons want it that way. They are an extremely intelligent species, able to access significantly more information, DNA, baby, about all things than humans can. They have powers in some categories that humans can only dream about at this stage of our evolution. Now, we're talking about the Caucasoid again. The most humans, the Caucasoid, can do at this point is to acknowledge their existence, work with them on magical and spiritual projects, gain their trust. Come on. I don't know if y'all read the pyramid text and the Book of the Dead, but it talks about that. And develop lifelong friendships, because it talks about when you enter the Wat, how white people, they can't ascend unless they had a black person in this earthly realm that loved them, and then they can merge with us with our DNA. So that's why they're trying to push this whole love everybody shit right now. And you can't see a black man and a black woman on one single commercial unless it's some joke, because they understand the power of Isis and Osiris. Okay? It's all a ritual. It's all magical. So don't think I'm just here to jerk your chain. I'm trying to give you a little game here. I'm trying to freeze the game. That's the whole point of it. That's why I call myself freezing the game, because back when I grew up, early 90s, born in the 80s, you couldn't freeze the Sega. You had to play the game all the way through. That's why I call myself freezing the game. Let's take a break and break it down for a second. Okay, Donkey Kong? All dragons mate while flying. Come on. In the corridor space between this realm and the astral realm. Sorry, I just got braces. I can't pronounce everything anymore. That space is like a split between space and reality. Come on now, you ain't gonna tell me when we making love, we ain't in between space and reality when it's real love. As far as I can determine, this is the DjConway speaking, this corridor space does not exist all the time, but is created by the dragons as they need it. This space is also used as gateways to other timelines and galaxy levels. At the very edge of this split is what is called shadow energy. You're not going to tell me that's not us. It exists at the thin edge between dark and light energies and is only used with the help of certain dragon clans. Come on. The enlightened. It is a difficult energy to use properly, but can mask spells with illusion so that they cannot be interfered with by others. It is not dark or evil energy and will not mask dark spells. This is the energy used by a dedicated shadow walker or war walker, a title applied to humans who hunt down and remedy or destroy evil. I wrote down a shaman or magician. That's us, baby. Yeah, baby. Dragons court their mates. If either one decides to end it during the courting time, there's usually a calm separation. A few dragons never mate for life. Once two dragons decide to become a pair, it is for life, unless one is killed or dies. Soul ties, baby. Soulmates. The remaining one can seek another mate. However, no dragon will get involved with another's mate. That would be a breach of clan honor, which would then require the involvement of the High Council. Honor is very important to dragons, although the definition of honor may vary slightly from clan to clan. Courtship is discouraged before training is finished, which is usually about age 400 to 500. Each clan council keeps meticulous mating records to avoid inbreeding. Come on. I'm not even going to go into it. Long story short, I broke that down to rites of passage, okay? And having the elders guide how we made it and how we should. You know, I'm not telling y'all what to do in the future. I'm just breaking down what she's talking about. Make your own discernment, okay? Eggs take 2 or 3 years, which is 36 months I wrote. 3 plus 6 is 9. Then it takes another human year to hatch. 12 months, 1 plus 2 is 3. We do your numerology. I'm not going to explain everything. It is unusual for a dragon to have more than 2 eggs in a clutch. Dragons seem to practice their own form of birth control, or their fertility rate is governed by their DNA. We're back to the DNA. Come on. They like to talk about junk DNA because they can't explain it and theirs not activated by the sun. Why they're always talking about don't look at the sun, don't sit in the sun, wear your mask, because they're afraid that we are going to be activated. I'm not like these guys on the internet talking about we're going to be superhuman. We already superhuman. We're already meta. Was born that way. Consciousness activates this stuff, okay? Most dragon hatchlings start out life being a much lighter shade of scale color than their parents. They darken as they age. For example, a young dragon who is fire engine red, sound like a red bone to me, with tan on the wing membranes will end up a red so dark as to appear almost black, with membranes a deep, rich earth brown marked with spots of black, like camouflage gear. Okay, I'm not going to give it all to you, okay? You got to buy the book or, Hatchlings are the equivalent of human ages from birth to 7. I don't know if y'all read the Zohar. I don't know if you read your Bible. But I know that the Hebrews have a saying, give me a child from birth to the age of 7, and I will tell you what kind of man he will be. Because we all know that is the development of the brain, specifically the pineal gland. Now, when my child was born, my first boy, back in 2017, August 8, 2017, all 8s, baby. I'm born in 1988. Okay? Same day my cousin Kiana had her marriage date. I shaded her and her husband. Give me one moment. Let's skip down. Remind you, this is just a flow of consciousness. If this is boring for you, you know what I mean? Go watch something else. Small dragons are actually excellent catchers of small demons, negative creatures, and balls of negative energy. Okay? Little dragons eating negative energy is rather like a human child eating candy. The only difference appears to be that dragons don't get indigestion from overeating. She has to make it light to try to, she's a writer. Now, what I got from that is this why they put us in the class, in those slow classes? Because we're walking around eating negative creatures, small demons, balls of negative energy, and it don't do nothing to us. We laugh it off, and we like to move a lot, especially boys. They dope us up with all these different medicines to calcify our pineal gland. Okay, skip around a little bit. They also borrow shiny objects such as jewelry, desk pens, car keys, fishing lures, because they haven't yet learned not to do this. Okay? Don't be so hard on the child. Certain dragons, both males and females, are voice tested. This is very interesting because we're very musical people. I'm just trying to make a connection, guys. I'm not forcing it. It's right here. Now, this is supposed to be the leader in her field, okay? She's won many awards. I'm not going to, all right? I'm going to stick where I'm at. Certain dragons, both males and females, are voice tested for singing and chanting, both positive and negative spells. Okay? It is rare that this dragon skills ever use that human request. That's why we have to code switch, guys. That's why because if we ever were caught speaking in our native tongue, you were killed for less. Shout out Yay Mook. The only times I've heard their music, but never seen, have been at the solstice and equinoxes. I assume it is part of their special celebrations in some fashion. Okay, she knows. Dragons and humans. All dragons hide their true names from humans. The Caucasoid. Names have, come on, do I got to spell it out for you? Names have tremendous power that can be used against them. Humans, the Caucasoid, can't pronounce complicated dragon or clan names anyway. She's admitting it right in our face. So we are told names that closely resemble clan or individual personalities and powers. Where do you think the nickname shit come from? Or the evangelizing, always changing our name. They can't say it. As a Prince on Mason, I could tell you one thing. We have certain codes and passwords because certain people cannot pronounce it. And this is stolen knowledge from the Moors anyway. And I'm not a Moor. But this is original knowledge. Just like the flat earth theory. I'm not a flat earth theory guy. But if the white man believed for all these thousands of years that the earth was flat and the Moors conquered Europe, they want to talk about 7-11. Man, they've been in Europe. That's why they had 21 universities over there, okay? They've been in Europe. Why didn't they change the maps for the white man? It might not be flat, but even Neil deGrasse then came out recently talking about, oh, it's not really round. It's more like a pear shape. Come on, man. Put the pieces together yourself. True names are a combination of musical notes. Come on, African. I don't want to limit us to Africa, but I have to start somewhere with y'all, okay? Milk for babies, strong meat for men. Milk for babies, strong meat for men. For you Christians. True names are a combination of musical notes and ordinary dragon speech. This is why certain dragons or clans can become curious of certain humans who might chance upon a few musical combinations, either a voice or through an instrument. Since dragons age differently than humans, come on, you know black don't crack. They remain in certain stages of growth for much longer periods of time. No wonder some of us are immature. It seems like they whole damn life. Or some of us come out just acting like an ancestor. As mentioned, dragons think of aging in terms of hundreds and thousands of years, as they live far longer than humans do. The Caucasoid. So many things are invisible to human eyes. White man's eyes. So many things are not what you think they are. Once again, a reference to the pineal gland. Do you have clairvoyance, clairaudience? Like with many subjects, the more you learn about dragons, the more interesting they become. However, people have some erroneous ideas about them. The adult Western dragons, which reminds me of the Americas, let's just say the Americas, were always on guard against aggressive knights and villagers who wanted the thrill and notoriety of killing a dragon. Since when have they not wanted to kill us and show off everything? What do you think the gun is modeled after? The male genitalia. Their biggest, the thing, that's all they prize is the gun. Which was stolen technology from the Asiatic man, which the gods and goddesses of the earth will tell you is the original black man. But like I said, milk for babies, strong meat for men. No wonder Western European, Mexican, and Central American dragons considered humans dangerous. These dragons tended to attack first, thus eliminating surprise raids on their lairs. However, dragon clans differ as to availability and aloofness, and there are clan personalities as well as individual personalities. The Far Eastern dragons are a distinctly different and more benevolent type, working well with the people of China, Indonesia, Japan, and similar cultures. Tell me that ain't the black man. These dragons are honored today by the dragon dance winding through the streets during the celebration of the Chinese Year. Appearing doesn't mean actually having a dragon manifest physically in front of you. Oh, so she's not dumb. Although that can happen. Appearing is more like sensing a presence close to or behind you. Ordinarily, beginners will see them with their inner eyes, or as a fleeting moment in the corner of the eyes, peripheral vision, or I don't know if y'all know about peripheral vision, it's magical, or in pictures in the mind. Okay? Meditation, guys. Dreamland. Dragon conversations are most often by telepathy. You will know the thoughts are not yours because the words, tones, and information are not in your style of thinking. Dragons have auras, just as humans do, which is why one can feel their presence. When two human auras touch, your subconscious mind knows. Okay? Go into the shadow. Go into the darkness. Bobby always talks about that. Even Carl Jung, one of their most celebrated psychologists, okay? Next to Freud. They were friends later in their lives. But Carl Jung talks about all the time, I didn't think like him. Because he talked about it in a matter of fact. And I speak like I'm still learning every day. That's why I rock with Jung, the shadow man, to me. So it makes sense that dragons and humans would feel the same effect. That said, dragons do not think like humans or make their choices according to human ethics. Man, once you rise into the higher realms, morality is out of here, man. I think that's part of the reason why this grafted man, this caucasoid, is like, I don't know if the term is amoral, because when I think of asymmetrical warfare, it's like you get the job done, you know, whatever you do. But I'm no longer angry about it because they have pushed us into a state of consciousness where we had to ascend, you know, want to leave this planet, this plane of existence. Otherwise, we would be stuck in luxury and want to keep buying Benzes. Shit, I just bought a Range Rover. But I look at it like Osiris's boat. Shit, nigga got to get from A to B. Many of them will not even work magic with humans, the caucasoid, or spend time with us. That's them. There's no way any human, them, has enough power or knowledge to enslave a dragon or force one to do your bidding. That's why we had to change our names and form. Now I call this part Dragon Ethics 101. Never tell or order dragon to do anything. Don't call yourself a dragon rider or say that you hold a special position among dragons. See, she's alluding to once you befriended one of the fledglings or the guardian dragons and you're in the astral realm talking to them, how to get, you know, because we're a benevolent race of people, man. We don't really hold grudges. But I feel like that's a bit naive. We have to still be in our heart chakra, but to keep forgiving people that has fucked us for thousands and thousands of years is just dumb. I'm sorry that I'm not sorry. Dragons will give you your position, name, or title if and when they think you have earned it. They act as co-magicians or teachers and are not at your beck and call. Likewise, you never train dragons to do anything. If you overstep the boundaries of the rules, they leave you stumbling in false delusions until you finally catch on. Then you go back to the training place where you went astray and start learning over again. Which is partly why we're in the position we're in. You know, I feel like we had we had a role to play in the fall of man, the scattering of languages, the deluge, all of that stuff, man. We had a role to play in all of this stuff because we are the original magicians. So if anything happened on this planet, we were here. Okay? We had a big role, so don't act all high and mighty. The first will be last and the last will be first, okay? The first will be last. That was us. We were first. And the last man created was the white man. Even he talks about it. That's why his memory of history is so short. Even though the mysteries know the truth, the regular white man just thinks of 2,000 years. If you talk about anything going up to 6,000 years, then they look at you like you're an asshole, complete retard. Sometimes dragons refuse to teach or work with you because you have more to learn and might not be respectful enough. they might work with you later. This is quite common with the new clans who had come through the veil from other levels. They had little or no contact with humanoids. I wrote down admitting white people are humanoids right here. Different clans and groups within a clan use different marks for magic and communication. Sometimes these symbols briefly appear on their scales, sigils, stuff like that, runes. Some dragons appear to appreciate the light sounds of tambourine, drum, harp, and other instruments. Nigga shit. This may be because, sorry, the braces, getting caught on these big old lips, because their own language sounds like a combination of musical notes and guttural speech. Since we humans, you know who that is, don't understand them, especially when learning dragon magic. They display magical symbols on their scales. This is rather like flashcards for human children. Gotta read this because I learned this from Bobby Hemmett, by the way. Like, real spiritual teachers do not want to be followed. Okay? They don't want a following. They're here to teach. That's it. The proper etiquette with dragons is to treat them with respect, but not in a worshipful way. Treat them as you would a special tutor or teacher. Prepare yourself mentally and spiritually for dragon magic. And do be cautious when working with certain clans. Some enjoy tricking you with riddles. That's how we talk. You dig? I'm a musician. They call it a rapper. What is a riddle? What is rhymes? Others can be very abrupt and impatient. Man, shout out to C. Freeman L, because that man has some patience that I do not have. While still others don't wish to be bothered by humans and are short-tempered. Although healers are found in the great clans, there are certain clans that seem to have specialized in healing for millennia. Teachers from the healing clans often seem to befriend humans who are also healers or maybe potential healers. All disputes, trials, and major decisions are made by the council. The council is ordinarily comprised of elders. Come on. That's some nigga shit. Come on. We always consult with our elders. Not them. Humans. Remember what I said? Replace that with. That's not us. We are the gods. Humans cannot physically or actually become dragons, be born as hidden dragons, or become masters of dragons. On very rare occasions, a few humans, for reasons only known to the dragons, are temporarily given an ability to assume dragon form on the astral plane only. This is probably done to give us a taste of what it is like to glide, see, and feel things like a dragon does. The dragon can take away this trait as quickly as they gave it if you misuse it. Okay? Dragons are very cunning creatures who have had a turbulent history in the far past with humans. They also have a myriad of personalities among the clans, just as humans do. Some are not all that friendly with humans, i.e. me, while others become interested only after much observation and careful communication. Some of the last darker clans are very suspicious and only trustworthy after much minor interaction. Humans who are arrogant or pushy or treat dragons disrespectfully, who does that remind you of? As a species, who does that remind you of? To be ordered about are discarded as not worthy or working with or teaching. Honor is very important to dragons. Although definitions of honor might be slightly different according to clan. I wrote down, she repeated this. It must be important. Okay. Guardians help humans, particularly magicians, by protecting, aiding in spells and rituals, and in the development of meditation and psychic arts, especially divination. The hatchlings and younglings that reside with you may not be from the same dragon clan. Ancestors. The thing about Africa, and once again, we got to start somewhere. That's where the Orishas and the voodoo coming over here, it's all been mixed together. So this is not surprising the way she's putting it. It was all mixed together because that's why the Black American has to be the god, the new gods, the old gods reincarnated, because we are a mix of all of those cultures. Okay? This is divine. This is also part of their training. A few will be siblings from the same hatchling, but most will not be. It is customary to get acquainted with a guardian dragon before you meet the larger dragons. However, that order may change if the older dragons wish it. Dragons do respond in power to moon phases, equinoxes, solstice, and eclipses of both moon and sun. I assume their original planets had the equivalent of these time periods, and therefore their responses have remained to match our equivalent. This has been a reading by Freezing the Game. Shout out Naruto. On DragonMagik. Call on the clans to help your practice soar by DjConway. This is a fire book, man. I'm not trying to disrespect her. Get into that Phage Lambda. You know, you get a chance. 2021. Man, get into that Phage Lambda. Read that Book of the Dead, the pyramid text, all of that. Okay? So y'all get today. Freezing the Game. If you like it, ask for a request. I got hundreds of books. Let me clean my mirror. Man, y'all be safe out there. Ashe, 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 ashe.